Fancy to chat? Well, I seem to have attracted a guest. What can I help you with? Oh, that would be the squeaky little gnome from Odessa. Smelled like vellum and book paste, as I recall. I was hired to take the note from him. Sure as rain. A gnomish scholar named Arancourt hired me to take it and throw it in the quarry. That's where you can find that letter if you're looking. And I can even give you Arancourt's orders as proof, if you pay the right price. I suppose you're right. If you care so much about the little rag, I can part ways with it. Now don't say I didn't give you anything. Come now, you don't expect me to have actually read the thing. I have my reputation as a courier to think of. It's in the quarry. I was paid to throw it down there by some gnome. Scholar Arancourt's her name. It's all written in those orders I gave you, every last detail. Good.
Another? Yes?
You found the letter. But why would Scholar Arancourt want it to be sent and lost? She commissioned the letter in the first place. It is above my station to question her, but there is a higher plan at work. Please, stranger, find Arancourt and learn what is happening. She can be found in the Isles, probably in the Basilica Nostra. She needs to be confronted with the information we found regarding the letter. Fair enough. Yes? Yeah, this won't do. This won't do at all. Prophets haven't been up since... Oh, excuse me, you're the courier, yes? Good. You're early. We can begin at once. Why, they delivered it to the Motus Mining Branch office in the Hollowlands. Now it seems we've misplaced our copy, so you'll have to reclaim the handbook from our old headquarters in Apotir. I need someone to go to the Motus headquarters in Apotir and recover a handbook, then deliver it to the Motus headquarters in the Hollowlands. Good. Should go to the old Motus mining offices in Apotir. Once you've found the book, bring it to a poor buyer. I am the head clerk of Motus Mining's home office. Was so important, the bursars even gave me a chest in their vault. Though privately controlled, we're significant enough to be integrated into several municipal services. The bursars finances our expeditions now. I need a courier to go to the closed Apotir branch of Motus Mining and recover the branch handbook. Then, take it to Motus Mining's new branch office in the Hollowlands. Simple enough, isn't it? Fine.
Be careful out in the sands.
Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fae have holed up at the canyon hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there, but it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the fae. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine, and then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit, and my care and charge. They were our biggest competition. Then they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Edder never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Pardon? Oh, I see. The Home Office finally managed to dig up a copy of the Motus Mining Branch Handbook. Thank you for delivering it. Our scholar Ainser ought to be at the canyon hillside, getting to the bottom of this damn holdup. He ought to be back already, telling me how he fixed it. If you do see him, give him a kick for me and tell him to get on with it. I've got miners just standing around not mining. Ah, they're cowards, the whole lot of them. They came scurrying back, complaining about the passage to Canyon Hillside, blocked by Faye. Now they won't go near the Eastern Ledge and me without a single Praetorian to deal with them. Good day.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Craddock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a Chief of Security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Craddock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. No one knows what's at the top of Cloudcrest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies. And that's why you'll find Motus mining and, such as it is, Aaron Excavations digging here. Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dunehead operation's hardly begun thanks to a vicious Craddock. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare and that's enough for me. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Be careful out in the sands.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Scholar of Mineralogy, Motus Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. Yes. Well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, it shook its fist at me. Oh yes, a stalwart foreman. He sent you after me, I suppose. Edessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me. Yes, and find out what's wrong, now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts, and I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind, at a safe distance. To the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge, where a cadre of Fae awaits to rip us to shreds, no doubt. Lead the way. Up the slope we go. Oh my, oh. There they are! Dispatch them before they attack me. I see something at the end of the trail.
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, Source of solace snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side. Took it northward through the narrow rocks to their village of wood and cloth. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? He and I are two where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form. Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae maid within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
The light! Return to me! Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind sighs. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. This is home, the place of power. I can feel the mortal's presence above, taking, chipping away at the land. Calavar will not be pleased. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah.
Greetings.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. Foreman Vire? Head harder than a rock, and emptier than a mined-out stope. It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess. Goodbye. Thank you for all you've done.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. I've spent a lot of time here in the Hollowlands, living off the soil and the wildlife. I thought I'd finally made a living for myself when I discovered the mineral deposits here. Not sure what I'll do now that Motus has stolen my workers, but I'll think of something. Motus will get theirs someday. They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money. I had a small army of gnomes to help me with the mine. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards had the gall to leave me for Motus. I've lived in the Hollowlands for a time. Seen lights and heard rumbles from the top that could have been the world's quietest storm, or very powerful magic. Mark my words, there's something happening up there. Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. Fae know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. I shepherd the surface while Orenda sleeps beneath. I await the day when I may lay down to rest as Orenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Orenda dreams in reverie below. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one Fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a Fey place, and Fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest road of recovery. A friend of the sands. You'll do what needs doing. You will need Petrichor.
Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin. For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then sleek it with the petrichor I gave you. For now, then.
Then, winged Saina, the mediator of earth and sky, came from Ashara. She beheld the suffering desert and swooped down upon the hollow lands. Her feathers shaded the scorching sands. Her wings cooled the broken ground. Her tears fell to the dust, where rivers were born.
Oh, it's you. I've been hoping you'd come by. The miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. Thank you for ridding us of that menace. If you hadn't happened along, who knows where we'd be? In whatever that thing calls a stomach, I suppose. You're welcome here any time, friend. Though there's not much to do but swing a pick at rocks. Baron Excavations. They're the other mining outfit in the Hollowlands, our only competition. Though I wouldn't say that they're particularly stiff competition. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's my miners. They've gone deranged. Bless my beard. Just as both sites were coming back to full operation, the lunatics fled out into the desert. I tried to stop one of them and saw nothing but a blank stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. He looked cursed. This is the work of that Fae, the one who sits atop the hill on the outskirts of town. If you can find that Fae and make him fix this, they'll be duly compensated. Damn right, there's no other explanation. He calls himself Calovar. Polite enough fellow, I suppose, but I've never trusted him. When we first got this operation up and running, he'd appear out of the sands every once in a while and try to convince us to move out. It's so obvious now. I'll bet he was behind the other problems as well. The Cruddock, the attack on Canyon Hill, all of it reeks of Fae magic. Gulliver watches the mine from his perch on the hill to the south. You'll find him there. Well, the Canyon Hill site's underway thanks to you. But for every step in this place, there's another stone to trip on. Surely you've heard the name. Odessa's most powerful mineral mining interest. Dug the very stones Odessa was built on, and the gems that power her. Didn't you hear me? They've gone soft in the head. Most ran off into the desert, some stayed in the mines. I tried to stop one of them and got nothing but a vacant stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. Then he took off. He looked cursed. I bet my beard that damn Fae had something to do with this. Nothing is going right. Nothing.
Greetings, mortal. What are you here for, mortal? I'll not suffer another child of dust. I've had enough of your lot. Especially those of you calling yourselves Edgar Aaron. I lent him my relic when he asked for help extracting resources from the ground. I believed I was aiding a friend. But Edgar Aaron deviated from his purpose. The plight of Orenda and the attack of the Curragh on the mortal camp perplexed me. I know now that Edgar caused them with my relic. If you wish to free the mortals from their predicament, you must seek out Edgar Arryn and take back the relic. With it in hand, speak to the miners to break the spell. He has fled to his mine. If you truly wish to save the little mortals wandering the sands, you must retrieve my relic from him. You would do well to bring it back to me as well, when you have claimed it. It is a powerful relic, and could do much harm in the wrong hands. The Marshal and I made a verbal contract. I would give him use of my light to help him clear the wild fae from his mine. In return, he agreed to gather his resources with my relic rather than the little mortal's methods, ripping and tearing at the land. He has instead shown his true quality, and now your miners are scattered to the winds. I have heard mortals refer to it as a stone or a jewel. Vast oversimplifications, as children of dust are wont to make. It is my light, as Orenda's lantern is hers. Edgar Arryn asked to borrow my relic to use in his mine, to draw the minerals the mortals find so valuable. I thought him worthy of friendship, and thus gave it to him. Alas, he has deviated from his purpose. The Curragh attacks, the theft of Orenda's lamp, and now this. All of this petty sabotage is his doing, made possible by my relic. For now, then.
Flourished under her gentle plumes. As life returned to the burnt expanse, the people crawled from their caves and saw a majestic silhouette against the open sky. They praised Saina and worshipped her likeness. She replied with a call that still echoes on the wind. Helios heard the call, and looking down upon the desert, grew irritated. His mighty works were undone, and his brilliance spurned. He called Freka to his side, and implored the fiery god to strike Saina from the skies. Freka agreed. Saina was too strong. He asked Helios to lend him some of his fire as well. So Helios gave Freka the flames of the sun.
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago. Where in blazes could it have gone? I'm not leaving until it appears again. Oh, look! A gazelle.
Fire from the heavens struck Saina, and her plumage burst into flames. She flew high to cool her feathers and dove into the fire. Still nothing would cease the burning, and she knew that she was doomed. So she absorbed as much of the heat of the sun and the spirit of fire as she could, and fell dead to the earth. Now, only her bones remain, but she will rise again if life is threatened in the Hollow Lands.
You found me, stranger. Been speaking to Calavar, have you? You've been putting out fires for Motus all over the place, I hear. What can I do for you this time? You've spoken to the Fae, I presume. I thought I saw you scaling that cliff. He wasn't lying. I wanted Motus gone. But I never meant to take it this far. If he'd just packed up his damn operation, nobody would have been harmed. I did. With this little stone Calavar gave me, simply thinking a thing makes a wild Fae do it. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep old Bloodbane from falling for your brownie bait. Calavar told me all about it, and how detrimental it would be if it were taken. Then I just had to tell a couple of gullible cutthroats about this incredibly valuable Fae relic buried in Shadowthorn Hollow. How about I sick my Fae friends on you instead? Kill this pest, boys! No, please spare me. I was just trying to make a living here. Success should have been mine. I started my operation long before Motus ever arrived. My workers have abandoned me, and I haven't made a single coin from this place. This was all I could do to reclaim what once belonged to me. You understand, don't you? No! Stay back!
By the moon, where are these gazelles coming from? What was I saying?
Reginald, what do we do? The house is aflame! The house is aflame! What? Oh, where is this? By my beard, how did I get so far into the desert? Where do you think you're going with my pickaxe, you wretch? No. Where is this? I promise this is the last time I partake in Detrian ale.
I've never noticed how close the ground is to the sky. I mean, I do now. It's a mistake I'll never make again. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, dear me, I have to go.
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago. What? What happened? What in blazes is this? Greetings, mortal. I can smell them on the dry winds. Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollowlands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. For now, then. Winds in the Hollowlands can be fierce.
Well, it looks like everyone's back or on their way. We're in your debt once more. Edgar's facilities are vacant now. They're yours if you want them. They were never particularly profitable once his miners left him. But in the right hands, a few of the miners feel so indebted to you, they'd like to work there for you, if you'll have them. You should visit the mine when you have a chance. Good day.
Greetings. I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Aaron. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. For now, then.
Welcome. The Motus miners have told me all about you. I'm Vincent Helvern, Edgar Aaron's former assistant and facilities manager. I'll continue to run the mining office for you, if you'll allow it. Come and go as you please, the building is yours to use. And if it doesn't suit your tastes, with some spare coin, I can arrange for renovations. The Motus miners feel indebted to you. They've offered to work your mine, for a sliver of your overall profit, of course. Beastly creatures stalk near those caverns. They're not fey, and they're definitely not natural. You could pay me enough to get close to there. I wish it were somewhere far from here. The Hollowlands are dangerous enough without them. I locked myself in here while Edgar was hatching his schemes. I knew it would come to violence at some point. He was hell-bent on getting even with Motus. Anyhow, what's past is past. You need a manager for this building while you're away, and I'll do it for a small fraction of what you earn. Speak to me if you want work done on this building, or if you'd like to collect a profit. Yet another place of mystery that I'd rather be much farther away from. The Hollowlands are death trap enough as it is. If you have enough gold, I can clean this place up and furnish it with goods from across the land. I'll get right to work. It'll look brand new before you know it.